following your lead.
Okay. All right.
And I think is the call to action, click the link below the video to register?
We don't have any links yet. I emailed back this morning asking about the links for the affiliates. So we don't have any kind of links or even where to send them. So as soon as we have that, that was part of the reason why I wasn't streaming live to my groups, because I didn't know where to send them. So I'm going to take this, make a recording, make a bumper for it. Then I'll post it as if it's a live thing, post it as if it's an article, and then send out an email to everybody, pushing it at that point. And we're in the middle of our launch today through the week, but I can work it in, especially next week. I can start hitting a lot harder, but I want to be able to go back to this interview of several times.
Sure. Got you.
So what I'll probably do is I'll record a bumper after this, after I get off with you, wearing the same thing, going, hey, I was able to, get Jay on the phone, blah, blah, blah. And so they won't necessarily know about the context of the rest of today's event.
Right.
Okay. I guess we can get started. I guess we're live. We're live right now. We're like, people can actually talk to us. That was behind the scenes, folks. That's what happens in the high tech world of doing interviews. I forgot about that. I forgot we're completely live.
Well, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know where we're streaming to tell you the truth.
I have no idea. But all right, well, let's go ahead and get started then. I'll just take a break, and then I'll just roll into it, and we'll just ask some questions. And if there's anything you want to say, we'll figure however long it goes, whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it works out to be. We'll go with that. Does that work?
That sounds good to me.
All right. Hey, everybody. Had some time here and cornered the man himself, kind of cornered Jay Conner here about his boot camps. And you probably started to hear about these, so I wanted to kind of get him on the Zoom, because we can't, get together right now. And actually, this is a little bit about what your whole event's about. But before we talk about your events, I actually wanted to have everybody kind of maybe, tell a little bit about yourself and who you are and what your background is, for anybody that may have not either seen you yet or didn't catch you at Cashflow Expo this year, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that session, go back and look at it. But tell us, you're welcome, and tell us, everybody, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate you having me on here for a few minutes. So I'm here in Eastern North Carolina in a really, really small town called Morehead City, North Carolina, population only 8,000 people. And I started, my wife, Carol Joy, and I started investing in single family houses back in 2003. And the first 6 years we were in the business, from 2003 to 2009, January 2009, Fred, I relied on the local banks and mortgage companies to fund all of our deals. And I called up my banker the third week of January 2009. I had 2 houses under contract to purchase, earnest money back then that I couldn't get back. And I called up my banker to tell him about the deals. I'd had this kind of conversation many times with my banker for the first 6 years, told him how much money was needed to fund the deals, when the closing was. My banker went silent on me, which is never a good sign. And I learned in that conversation that all my funding and lines of credit had been closed with no notice. So myself, along with the rest of the world of real estate investors, I was cut off. Well, within 2 weeks of being cut off from the banks, I was introduced to this wonderful world of private money. And so I put my private money program on steroids, and I was able to raise $2,150,000 in less than 90 days of learning about private money. So since February 2009, I haven't missed out on a deal because I didn't have the funding. I don't do a lot of deals. I'll do 2 to 3 deals a month here in our local market. Total target market's only 40,000 people. But our average profit, Fred, per deal is $67,000 per single family house. And we're doing that with a median price point of only $225,000. So obviously we have to find these very attractive deals, and we have to have the funding ready to go.
Right. So how has, with us all sheltered in place, and, I guess this is going to be a 2-part question, because I'm going to talk about really what are you doing now? Because we know what you were doing before all this started. So how has this affected your business in the last, say, 3-4 months? And also then, are you still able to do business? And then also, what about going forward? I mean, what are you seeing for the rest of 2020?
Yeah. So, two-part answer to how it's affected the business. As far as the private money and the funding, I actually have more funding for my deals chasing me than I did
Hmm.
prior to coronavirus. I mean, people
Hmm.
have lost a lot of money in the stock market, and they're looking for a
Hmm.
safe place to put it. And real estate has got that answer. As far as the amount of transactions we're doing, it's not going up, it's not going down. We're getting just as many. Actually, I'm getting a few more motivated seller leads,
Hmm.
and it's
Hmm.
all off market for sale by owners. Um, Most of the people still want us to come take a look at the house. So in our area,
Hmm.
we're not in like total shutdown mode where we can't go to houses. However, I've got a number of students across the nation that are doing virtual showings. They're
Hmm.
using a Google Duo app. They're using FaceTime for the virtual showings. So our business has not slowed down one bit.
So what, I mean, going forward, the rest of 2020, I mean, obviously everybody's worried about, the economy. People are worried about potentially the real estate market. What do you kind of, and I know there's no magic crystal ball, but we all agree on one thing, and you and I have talked about this before. We all agree that there is an unprecedented opportunity or a rare opportunity going forward. Like every decade, every 2 decades, when something happens, this much of a significant economic shift only happens once in a while. How do you see that playing out for you in the rest of the year with the potential of unemployment or what real estate pricing may be?
There's going to be a huge opportunity to serve a lot of people in foreclosure for two reasons.
Hmm.
Number one, as we know, foreclosures, have been shut down for a while. They put a stop on that. But as my grandmother would say, Fred, all they're doing is saving up spit. That stuff ain't going away, right? So
Right, right.
we've got this build up of foreclosures that are people that are already in foreclosure, and then on top of that, with the millions of people that have been laid off, there's going to be even
Hmm.
more people going into foreclosure because of that. So there is going to be a wave. I don't know how big, but it's going to be bigger than it's been in probably 10 years. There's going to be a
Hmm.
wave of foreclosures coming along. And it's for that reason, it's one of those free events that we're going to talk about that I'm spending a whole day on the foreclosure business, how people can get ready to serve a lot of people and to, profit as well.
Yeah. Now you just led into my next question, which talked about you have three events coming up, three free full day boot camps. So when you told me about these, and you said you're doing these free, 3 Fridays in a row, and I thought, okay, great. What are you gonna do, an hour or so? And these are full days, and there's no cost to go to them. So tell me a little bit about the events and what made you even think of doing it. And certainly, I mean, there's the give back, the guy that donates an hour. There's another when you're talking about 3 full days. That's a lot, and they're not the same thing. They're 3 different days.
That's right. So the first free day, so these are 3 Fridays in a row, May 22nd, May 29th, and then June 5th. And they are full days, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Going to be virtual. So, your people, as we just said, will be able to register for free. The very first Friday on May 22nd, all 3 days, Fred, are going to be framed around how to not only survive but thrive in the midst of having to stay at home in the midst of
Mm-hmm.
coronavirus and all that. So the first Friday is going to be focused on private money, getting funding for your real estate deals, whether it's single family houses, commercial, etc., and how to be positioning yourself to get this funding ready to go so that when the big opportunities do come right around the corner, you're going to be able to take care of it. I mean, hard money lenders by and large are shut down. Banks have tightened up even more. So private money, and that is my specialty right there. Private money, getting money for your
Mm-hmm.
deals that has nothing to do with your credit, nothing to do with your verification of income, etc. So that first Friday is focusing on that. The second free Friday on May 29th, as I mentioned, I'm going to spend a whole day focusing on the foreclosure business, how to locate these opportunities to serve people before other real estate investors even know that these properties and opportunities exist, how to position yourself to not only find them, but how to have conversations with these people that are, in just in shutdown mode. And how you can also get your deals funded on these deals without even having to necessarily use private money on these particular foreclosure deals. The third Free Friday is going to be focused on what I call free private money, how to find free private money and get more funding for your deals as well. Again, how to do this in the midst of coronavirus. And even though our country in certain areas is starting to open up and is opening up, in my opinion, we're not going to be coming out of this as far as the economy goes and et cetera for some time. So how to position yourself. These 3 Fridays, Fred, are for brand new real estate investors and also for seasoned real estate investors that are looking for more funding for their deals, and as well how to find off-market deals of motivated sellers, again, in the midst of and on the other side of coronavirus.
Well, I like it, and I want to congratulate you for giving back so much of your time. Like I said, a lot of people are doing an hour here, a webinar and stuff, and we're all doing what we can. But three full days for free is pretty impressive, and obviously a lot of content. You can't have a lot of fluff when you're doing that. So I think it's going to be pretty neat. I think definitely everybody, whether they're think they're in real estate or whether they're looking at their own strategies going forward, I think everybody's going to have a lot of takeaways from it. And that's really what it is. I mean, I go to a lot of these things. I watch a lot of these things because, look, if I can get just one really good idea that I can implement, then it makes a difference. And if you've got 3 days, well, then I'm sure I'm going to have a notebook full at that point, though. Anyway, I know you're busy. I just want to say thanks. I wanted everybody, basically our audience to kind of know who you were, know about the opportunity, know about the 3 free days to attend. Is there anything else you wanted to mention before we sign off here?
That's it. Folks, if you have not gotten registered yet, you want to get registered right now, because I know that we will fill up. And so you want to go ahead and take advantage of it right now if you haven't already. And Fred, I know that you're going to be participating and joining us on at least one of the Fridays.
I think Tracy's doing a panel. I think with you guys. Right. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah, well, look, we've been buying notes for over 20 years now. So we see opportunity, and we've bought real estate before. We see opportunities on all sides of this, so we're looking forward to it.
That's awesome. I look forward to seeing you and seeing Tracy there. And thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
All right. Good.
Hey, Scott, where are we streaming to? I didn't even think about that.
Facebook and YouTube.
And we're still streaming right now, correct?
That's correct.
Hi, everybody listening at the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, if you got any questions, you can leave a comment and certainly a like. We've got 4 out of 7 likes, so we just need 3 more people to like.
I got you.
Yeah. So in the email that I sent you, Fred has all the login information. Yeah. I realized
I haven't seen it yet for some reason, so I'll have to go see if I don't see it here in a little while, I'll reach back out to you and give you a different email address or something like that. So, well, good. We're looking forward to it. When you have a copy of that, let me know, so I can send it. I know there's you've got a whole parade of people coming on.
Yeah.
This afternoon, which is going to be great.
Yeah, Nate's on at 2 o'clock, I think, and then 2:30, and then 3, and it's just it's a fun day today.
J Day, right?
That's right. That's right.
Oh, J Day.
Hey, this is when you're supposed to remind everybody that that's not moonshine in the jar too. So, oh, you know what? I meant to tell everybody watching, if you've not checked out Jay's piano, is it Piano Fridays or what day are you doing?
Monday evenings,
Mondays. Piano parties. That's right. It makes me wish I had a piano again. Actually, it was I wasn't very good.
Yeah, Carol Jo and I, we had a good time last night.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'll sign off. Enjoy the rest of the show. Have a good time, and we'll catch up soon.
Okay. Thank you, Fred.
Bye.
All right. Well, we're doing our warm up, and we've got Dennis Hay from Philly.
Yep, I saw Dennis there. Now, are we recording on StreamYard
Yeah.
for everybody?
Yeah. It's one big long stream.
I was going to say, you got to remind me, why are we recording on StreamYard instead of Zoom?
Because everybody can watch now and get all excited about what we have to share.
Oh, since we're live streaming, I got you. So, Dennis, since I'm looking at you, go ahead and hit your share button on the Facebook, so your Facebook friends can learn what we're doing, and everybody else that's watching. So we're just going to keep going, right?
That's right. This is a marathon, and the reason normally what we do, for those of you that aren't aware, is every 2 and 3 o'clock on Tuesdays we get together with a guest, but it's usually we do it as 2 shows, 2 separate URLs, but we happen to have 4 people, and we just thought us moving from the right link to the right link to the right link would be improbable, let alone everybody watching being able to do it and our guests showing up at the right link at the right time. So I thought we're just going to run. It's not a marathon. It's more than a sprint. And of course, we're not sure how long it's going to take for everybody to, like Fred, I was afraid he was going to go 40 minutes. He only went 20 minutes. So now we have this dead air time.
well, while we've got that air time, I'm going to run down the hall real quick. I'll be right back.
So we're going to be starting at the top of the hour, 7 minutes. We're going to be talking about what people are doing when the economy crashes. Big topic.
All right, I am back, Scott.
We are ready to roll.
All right, I see the countdown clock.
We're practicing. That was just a quick look. Hey, Angela, welcome.
Hello, Angela. Yes, we've got an update for you on the VIP, Angela. So if you will just call in here to my office at 252-808-2927, and either Ashley or Brenda can give you the update. Oh, and answer your question, Angela, the 3 Free Fridays is very different from the Real Estate Cash Flow Conference that you got free tickets for. And so these 3 Fridays are not the Real Estate Cash Flow Conference. These 3 Free Fridays are all focused on the coronavirus thing. Good question.
But you don't want to miss them because all this education is going to be really helpful for your business.
Absolutely. Oh, I see Nate. Or I saw Nate.
He's half here.
He's gotcha.
I'm here. I just didn't know if you guys wanted me to pop in this early.
Sure.
No,
we want you early, Nate.
We want you to pop in for sure.
Oh, well, I'm here then.
There you are. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Just so you know, we are live, as in live. So we're live streaming. So people of my YouTube and Facebook can hear about what's coming up while simultaneously do the short interview with you.
Well, I better not mess up then.
Well, if you mess it up, we'll just do it again.
Okay, all right, there we go.
Let's see here. Sorry, could you reply the phone number? Sorry, Angela. So our office number here, 252-808-2927. So Nate, I'll be following your lead, Nate, with whatever you think your Quest people. I mean, you do these all the time, but I mean, you may want me to give a little bit of my background for those that don't know me. I don't know. That's up to you.
Oh, okay. I guess I did. I thought we were just going back and forth, but if this is,
we can do that.
Yeah, either way. I didn't come prepared with anything. I thought we were just doing our typical, off.
You're gonna ask me about the 3 free days that your Quest people get to come to for free.
Well, they get it for free. Golly. Well, we better tell them about that.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
so this video you can use once Scott and his team gets it edited. You can use it on your social, media. You can, put it on the emails that y'all send out, whatever.
Okay. So I guess if I'm talking to any Quest clients or potential Quest clients out there, one thing I will tell you is that I've met a lot of people along the way ever since I moved to Texas and started working for Quest Truck. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Oh, that was the countdown clock.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Nate, that you got interrupted there.
Okay.
Oops. Sorry about that. It's over. I'm trying to remove it from the stream. There. Okay.
So now go again.
Yeah, I think Nate was getting ready to say something really nice about it.
Yeah, no, I was on a roll there. I was on a roll there. So back to what I was saying, if there's any Quest clients out there or potential Quest clients, I'll say this about the gentleman on the call here is that ever since I moved to Texas about 8 years ago and started working for Quest Trust Company, I've run into, a lot of different people, a lot of different educators that talk about all different types of ways to invest your money, your retirement money, real estate, non-real estate, notes, all sorts of things. And I think I met Jay, probably year 2 into my move. So we've known each other for, I would say, probably 6 years. Ran into each other at other people's events, and we're familiar with each other. Jay used another self-directed IRA company that shall not be named back in the day, but it was always friendly, always cordial. And one thing that stood out to me about Jay is that he brought so much energy into the room when he came in to talk about using private money with retirement accounts. And even today, when I go to events, there's nobody that comes in with the amount of energy to talk specifically about that topic. And obviously that means a lot to us because we're a self-directed IRA company. We have a lot of people that like to use their retirement accounts to lend. And we have a lot of people that like to borrow private money from our clients' accounts. So I knew right from the get-go that at some point me and Jay would cross paths and hopefully work together. And ever since we've started working together, I've had a phenomenal time, coming to your events. I got to say, I look forward to going to your events, getting me out of the city of Houston and going out to Emerald Isle and is just a wonderful experience. And every time I go out there, I meet not only new investors, but repeat students of Jay's that continually go to his events because they know they're going to get great content. They know they're going to have great networking, and the atmosphere is just second to none. So if you are looking for another opportunity to network with a group of investors, I think Jay Conner's group is one of the best out there. Very caring people, very knowledgeable, and they speak the same language of all of us at Quest. So if you have not been to one of his events, I highly urge you to come to his events. We've got the free events that are coming up. I'm sure you'll share some details on that. We've got 3 live events that are coming up, and they all lead to a 3-day event, not too long after that. But hopefully we'll get back to the days where we can meet face to face and do some events. But hey, it is what it is. And if you can take part in Jay's free education and, the 3-day event, I would highly urge you guys to take part of that.
Well, I tell you, Nate, dittos right back to you. I love you. All the Quest people, you all come from that space of having a servant's heart. And I know that's why, we hit it off, ever since day one. You're at all of my live events. These 3 free events that we've got coming up are all virtual. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be for your people, all of your Quest subscribers and followers. They get to come absolutely for free. And these are all-day events virtually, right here on the internet. We'll be live streaming them just like we are here. But the first Friday is going to be Friday, May 22nd. The second Friday is going to be May 29th. And the third Friday is going to be June the 5th. Now, all of this training all day long from 9 to 5. Of course, you're going to be joining me there as well. You're going to be there on the virtual events.
Miss it.
I'm sorry?
I wouldn't miss it.
There you go. And so all of this training, folks, is going to be centered around how to not only survive, but how to thrive in the midst of uncertain times. And I tell you, folks, whether it's coronavirus or something else, there's always going to be uncertain times coming around the corner. So how can you thrive in the midst of coronavirus, and even more importantly, on the other side of coronavirus? Because even though our country is starting to open up to some degree, the effects of what we've gone through here are going to be lasting for quite a while. So let me tell you about these 3 free Fridays. So the first Friday is going to be centered around private money, how to get funding for your deals, working with people that have self-directed IRA accounts, or we're teaching people about self-directed IRA accounts. I've got 48 individuals. Over half of them use their retirement funds at Quest, And none of them knew about self-directed IRAs until I told them about it. And so I'll be showing you how to put your teacher hat on and educate people about how they can use their retirement funds to actually invest into real estate. And if not get, tax-free, at least get tax-deferred returns, and do all this with no penalties with the IRS. So anyway, not only self-directed IRAs using private money, but how to work with other people and locate people that have existing investment capital to fund your deals. It's got nothing to do with your credit, nothing to do with your verification of income, nothing to do with your experience. These 3 Fridays, Nate, are going to be for people that are either new real estate investors or seasoned real estate investors that are looking for more funding for their deals. So again, that's the first Friday. We'll be focused on private money. And I've got even more private money coming to my desk right now in the midst of coronavirus and shutdown. The people have lost a lot of money in the stock market, and they're looking for a safe, reliable, and secure way to get high rates of return safely and securely. The second Friday, again, all free for the Quest followers there. The second Friday is going to be focused on foreclosures. Now, as you all know, foreclosures have been put on a stay. They've been shut down as well. But as my grandmother would say, all they're doing is saving up spit. That stuff is not going away. And when they open it up, there's going to be a wave of not only foreclosures of people that were already in it prior to coronavirus, but you've got all these millions of people that have been laid off, they're unemployed. And so now there's going to be even more foreclosures. Well, I'm going to be teaching all day how to locate these deals, these people that are going through this time and serve them, how to help them in the midst of their own crisis, and also how to profit from that as well and create win-win scenarios. The third Free Friday on June 5th is going to be about what I call how to locate free private money. So I'm going to be teaching a strategy that day on how you can fund your deals without actually having to borrow any money. So anyway, those are the 3 Fridays. And Nate, I'm looking forward to you being there with me during this training. And we're going to give a ton of value, a lot of content to your Quest followers and subscribers. And we're going to have a great time.
Well, and can I add something? There's a lot of people that offer free days and free education, and even do it, over a 3-day period. I was actually surprised when Jay said that it was a different topic each day. So that's something that's of value to anybody out there, because if you watch day 1, day 2 is going to be different, and day 3 is going to be different, and everything has its own educational component to it. So, and I'm absolutely sure that if you join in on any of those days or all 3, you'll walk away with some golden nugget or some learning token that you didn't know beforehand. So, why not? It's free, great people, great education, and the content's going to be different each time. So I think it's awesome.
So folks, if you have not registered yet, go ahead and get registered. You may be watching and in fact, here is the registration link right now. You can go right now to www.jayconner.com/Quest 2020. That's QUEST 2020. Get right on over there. You want to get registered now, because I know we will fill up. Nate, thank you so much for having me here on this short video to talk about what we got coming up. And I always look forward and love doing events, and now virtual events with you.
Well, thank you, and appreciate all the support. And I look forward to the events. Can't wait.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a good one.
And it's back to just you and me.
All right. So Nate is gone. And,
it is so funny, Jay.
What
Because
happened?
for 2 years, you and I've been behind the scenes producing, and you've been up there talking and interviewing people. And for 2 years, do you think we could get anybody to be like under half an hour, under 40 minutes, under 50 minutes? And I was so worried that we'd get Nate on, and then someone else would be coming on, and they'd be falling over each other on StreamYard here, and it's like 10, 15 minutes, and they're done, and they're see you later, bye. And I'm just like, wow.
So our next, so everybody that's joining in, glad you're here, but you're seeing everything raw and live today, folks. So what time is our next interview?
2:30.
And who's that with?
I believe that's Gary.
Well, why don't I just call up Gary and see if he can jump on over?
All right.
I'll just tell him we're running ahead of schedule if he can go ahead and join us.
So, the people we have on our show are not just someone whose name we heard. They're always people that Jay has a very good, strong friendship with. And this is proof of it. You're calling him and texting him and saying, come on early, Gary. And you don't do that if you don't know the person.
That's right.
And I better check just to make sure it is Gary.
Well, that's a good idea.
It's Corey.
Oh, it's Corey. Okay.
Corey. I have Gary ready to go here, but not Corey.
Yes. Our last one is scheduled for what? 3:30?
3 o'clock.
Oh, the last one's scheduled for 3.
And that's Jim.
Okay, got you.
Corey Boatwright.
Let's see here.
I don't know what it is, but Gary Boomershine and Corey Boatwright, I know they're totally different. I know who they are, but I'm always getting them mixed up.
Right. I got you. All right. So you said Corey. So let me go ahead and see if I can. Corey, there's Corey right there. All right. See if I can get Corey on the phone here. Fred, you see Fred's note in the comments?
Sure. Yes, Fred.
There we go.
Dennis has a really good question. He's paying attention.
Is that from Dennis?
Dennis, yes.
Let me text Corey here real quick.
I hope I sent it to Corey.
We are running ahead of schedule. Come on now or early if you can. So Dennis had a question. Jay, how do we as real estate investors get out opportunities in front of Quest clients for consideration? Well, Quest is scheduling, and I don't have the dates yet, Dennis, but Quest is scheduling a large networking event. And I don't know the date or when that's going to be. I'm sure they're waiting to schedule that once things are, totally opened up. But they also have regular networking events at their home office in Houston, Texas. And they also have other networking events. And they've got, I think, like 3 or 4 offices now out in Texas. So what I would do, Dennis, is I would just call up Quest and tell them you're interested in attending some of their networking events and ask them, of course, we got coronavirus going on, but ask them what they have on the schedule for networking events. And at these events, it's real estate investors that network with the Quest clients. And that's the reason they have those events. So good question, Dennis. And that's what I recommend.
So these clients are all over the United States, right? Like you don't have to be a citizen of or living in Texas to.
Correct. Yeah, because we can do business with private lenders regardless of where they live and regardless of where we live. So like I've got private lenders, in 10 different states. Well, all of my real estate investing in single family houses is right here in Eastern North Carolina. But since we're not regulated by the Commissioner of Banks, we can do business with individuals. That's what private money and private lending is. is doing business with individuals and not, commercial lenders. And since we're not regulated by Commissioner Banks, then, we can do business across state lines and anywhere. Now let's see here. Another question from Dennis. Are any of the self-directed IRA companies doing virtual networking? That's a good question, Dennis. I haven't heard about it. Again, you might want to reach out to Quest and ask them if they are doing any virtual networking events. Good question.
And one place you might want to look at too, Dennis, was RIAs. They would definitely be doing virtual events since they can't get together.
True.
Right.
Very true. Let's see here. I texted Corey and he must be in another appointment.
So Jay, while we're waiting, I always ask you this question. Have you had any new deals lately that you want to tell us about? They don't have to be closed. They don't have to be finished.
Yes. So the deals that are coming to my mind right now would be one as recent as yesterday.
Wow.
And so that deal, of course, we're still in the. I mean, we just got the lead. I'm not gonna call it a deal. I'm gonna call it a lead. And so for those of y'all who are watching the live stream here, or you may be watching the replay, who would be interested in learning how to get absolutely free, top quality leads from motivated sellers? If you're interested in hearing that right now, in the comment bar, either on YouTube or on Facebook, I want you to type in the comment bar right now, tell me Jay, as in Jay. So if you want me to tell you, I want somebody to ask for it. Tell me, Jay, how to find free, high quality leads from motivated sellers. All right, here we go. I'm going to tell you got it coming. So I'm going to give you the bottom line, and then I'm going to tell you how the conversation goes. So all you do is, Scott, just let's see. Let's see here. He says, he's on a team meeting right now. I'm just gonna say, no problem. I'm just saying we're just a little early. So here's how you get them, folks. Here's how you get the free leads. Call your bandits, your competition that has put up bandit signs. Call your competition. Call your competing bandit sign people. You say, Jay, why in the world would you do that? Well, for the same reason. Hello, Tracy Z. Glad to see you on here with us, and looking forward to having you at the upcoming virtual events, Tracy. Anyway, you call them up, and just like I did. So a couple of weeks ago, I called up a real estate investor's bandit sign that's only about a half a mile from where Carol Joy and I live. And I called him up, and he actually answered the phone, which is out of the ordinary when you call up, real estate investor bandit sign. So I called him up. I introduced myself. I said, I've been investing in real estate here in Eastern North Carolina since 2003. And it could be mutually beneficial, excuse me, mutually beneficial for us to actually get together and meet, because I've got private money sitting on the shelf. I got money burning a hole in my pocket for deals, and you may talk to some sellers or property owners that require all the cash, and of course, most of them do. My experience tells me that only 13% of for sale by owners will actually sell to me creatively on terms, seller financing, subject to the existing note, and etc. That means 87% of all those for sale by owners are going to require all the cash. So when I'm calling up my fellow real estate investor, I tell them, I've got funding for deals. You may have a deal that you're having to pass on. And if you're having to pass on it because you don't have the funding, well, that's an opportunity for us to work together and do business together. I can pay a wholesale fee, an assignment fee, or, whatever, or I can just pay you for the lead, or, whatever you want to do. So the purpose of that phone call to the real estate investor that's got the bandit sign posted is, first of all, to just establish a relationship and make an invitation to meet. Now, you may be in an area right now with coronavirus going on that you can only meet virtually, right? Well, you can set up a Zoom meeting, right? Set up a Zoom meeting. So I just don't want to get on the phone and talk to somebody. I want to actually see them on video, on Zoom or whatever, or better yet, meet in person, even if you got to sit 6 feet apart in your office or wherever. So here's what happened. So I called up this bandit sign. I had that conversation with the person that answered the phone on the other end, and so we set a meeting, right? So that was about a couple of weeks ago. He came here to my office. We sat down. We got to know each other. We visited for about an hour, and so he felt good about our meeting and such. Well, he texted me night before last. He says, "Jay, I've got a lead for you." And he gave me the seller's name and gave me their the address for their property, and said, I've already talked to him about buying subject to the existing the existing note, and I said, well, that's great. So I drove by the property yesterday. My lands, it's got a brand new metal roof on it, and it's a good size house. I already know the math. It looks like we're going to be able to put that deal together. So, Scott, there's my latest, what looks like is going to be a deal just from calling. Where did it come from? I mean, that's an absolutely free lead. I'm not even paying for the lead or paying an assignment fee or a wholesale fee or anything like that until I'm actually making money, right? Now, this house needs rehab. So how am I going to get a big check immediately in this deal, right? Well, I always borrow more money than I need to buy the house if I'm using private money. In this case, the seller's willing to sell subject to the existing note, which means they are willing to sell the property to my entity and leave the current mortgage in their name, and I'm agreeing to make their monthly payments. And you say, Jay, who in the world would agree to do such a thing?
I know the answer. I know the answer. Can I tell him?
Yeah, who would, Scott? Who would?
A motivated seller.
Exactly. A motivated seller who's got a mortgage and they want debt relief. They want that monthly payment going and somebody else taking care of that. Well, now here's how you're going to get a big check, or here's how I'm going to get a big check on that deal. So it's a major rehab on the inside. So if I buy it subject to, or am I going to get the money for the rehab? Or what if I want to go and just pull out some equity for some cash, right? So I can borrow private money, a small amount of money, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and give my private lender a second mortgage or a junior lien, same thing. And so now when I buy it subject to, so y'all, this is an advanced strategy. I know y'all can handle it. When I buy the house subject to the existing note, I'm gonna agree to make that mortgage payment until I cash out on the house, and I'm gonna borrow $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in private money. So I'm gonna get a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 check from my real estate attorney when I buy the house. I tell you what, my favorite phrase in my real estate attorney's check stub is excess cash to close. And let me tell you, folks, I love me some excess cash, right? And you do too. So this is just one example of the kind of training that you're going to get at the upcoming free events. Look at Tracy Z. She says, wisdom, call the bandit sign approach. It works. And up here, Tracy Z also says, hi, Dennis. Quest has been doing some virtual events live and archived on their Facebook page app. Tracy, thank you so much for sharing that. Facebook.com/ and y'all can see the website right there in the comment section.
I'll leave it up for a while because that's kind of a long URL, but
right. Exactly. So, well, Scott, I'm so glad for you to you asked me to tell you about one of my recent deals. I mean, there I went on a rant.
That was a great one. There's a lot of gold nuggets in there.
So yeah, Corey confirmed that he is good for 2:30, and he's in a team meeting right now. Today is May the 12th, isn't it? Yes.
So Jay, I have a question about the taking over the note.
Yes.
There's no down payment, right? So like you've gone to this person, you said, I'm going to take over the payments, the monthly payments, but you're not putting a down payment on, are you?
Well, it depends. So that's a great question. So if they're selling you their property subject to their notes, you're going to make their payments, and they're willing to sell to you for payoff. In other words, they're willing to sell to you for what they owe on the house, then there is no down payment, right? The only time that you're going to have a down payment is if you've negotiated with the seller and they want and require, and the numbers still work, for you to pay them some money over and beyond what they owe. So let's say the payoff, like this payoff on that deal I just told you about is right around $90,000. Well, the after repaired value is over $200,000. I don't know exactly what the repairs are yet because we're scheduling right now to go inside the house. But anyway, let's say this seller, we negotiated and required some cash. Let's say it was $5,000 that they required over the payoff amount. So your purchase price in that example is $95,000.
So they have a $90,000 mortgage, and you're going to give them $5,000 extra.
Extra, yeah. So adding what they want over and beyond their payoff is your purchase price. Now, do I have to pull that $5,000 out of my pocket in order to go to closing? And the answer is no. I'm going to borrow money in second position from a private lender for the rehab. I can also borrow the money for the down payment or the amount that is going to be over and beyond the payoff going to the seller. And I can borrow more money than that by pulling out some equity, because every house has got, carrying costs. You got the private lender payments if they're getting monthly payments. You got utilities, marketing costs, etc. But still yet, I'm going to structure the deal to where I can pull out even extra amount of money, pull out some of that equity and cash that I can use for operations in my business or what have you. So that was another excellent question, Scott.
Yeah, this whole subject too is fascinating to me because on one hand, there's these people, they're living in a house, they've got a $90,000 mortgage or debt, they're in distress, and I'm assuming they're underwater or they have to leave fast, because I know Crystal talks about people in the military bases, right? So you're either, I've got to leave right now and go somewhere else, or there's no way I can make my payments and I'm going to lose the house to foreclosure. So,
correct.
So then it becomes a matter of, you just saved me $90,000 in debt.
That's right.
That would be on my credit score for 10 years, because I just discovered that foreclosures are on credit scores for 10 years.
Yep, they stay on the credit report for 10 years or more. That's a minimum.
A minimum.
And a lot of times to get that off your record after 10 years, you have to appeal to the credit bureaus or credit repositories to actually get that record removed. So it's, when you buy subject to, you're doing a lot of property owners and sellers a huge favor by getting that debt off of them. And it's such a relief. The burden is off of them.
It must just feel like an anchor around their necks. And then when it's gone, it's because here's the thing, right? I mean, what if 2 years from now, what if he's in this situation because he's unemployed like 30 other million Americans, and he can't make it go. But a year from now or 2 years from now, all of a sudden he's got a good job, he's got a raise, and he could actually be in a position where if mom and dad helped him out with a down payment, he could buy a house, except nobody's going to lend him the money, right?
Right.
He's gone through a foreclosure. So yeah, you could ruin your life, or you've prevented someone from potentially being in a really awkward position for a long time.
That's right. And you don't only use the subject to strategy for real estate investing, you can use that strategy for your own personal home. I mean, you can buy a house subject to the existing note, and it's your house, right? And the beautiful thing is, you see, subject to is not an assumption. You're not assuming the loan. An assumption loan is where the mortgage company actually approves you to assume the loan. Mortgage company has got nothing to do with this transaction. And so, and it's nothing that your closing agent's got to make up. It's already on the HUD settlement, line 204. It says subject to existing note. So the mortgage company does not have to approve it. You transfer the title, and right there on the HUD, it shows the funding for the deal on line 204. Subject to the existing note is what funded the deal.
So is there a limit in terms of time? So obviously, like in your case, you're going to fix it, you're going to sell it, you're going to flip it and everything else. But I had never thought about what you just said, which I just think is really pretty amazing. Like, oh, you could just do this and buy your own house, right? So let's say, for example, you had a house you wanted to get rid of, and you're not in any financial dire straits. And I come up and I say, well, you know, the mortgage on this would be, who knows what, let's just say $1,000 a month. I'm willing to assume that mortgage. Would you say, well, for 2 years, then you got to go get a mortgage? Or would you say like forever? Or obviously these are negotiable things, but you've got a lot of experience, and I'm just curious as to your thoughts on that.
Yeah, most people that sell their property subject to the existing note, they do not negotiate a time limit or a deadline. Some do. Those that negotiate the deadline typically have got, first of all, those that negotiate the deadline typically have not been behind on their payments, and they maybe want to be buying another house. Well, they can't go buy another house unless they make big time money and have huge income. They can't go buy another house until this debt is off of their credit record, not off their credit record, but shows that it's paid off and out of their name. So in those cases, people may negotiate, well, look, I need you to have this, you know, cash to have this mortgage paid off within a year. You know, some may say within 2 years or whatever, but most of the time there is no deadline. However, if there is a deadline that you have to negotiate and you haven't cashed out on the house by that time, well, guess what? You just use private money to refinance it. So you get your private money from a private lender, refinance the house, cash off that note, or cash out that note, and just use your private money. Hey, Scott, I just got a text from Corey a few minutes ago, and he's not in the green room, is he?
No.
Okay. Well, he said that he has got it scheduled for Tuesday, May 12th, 2:30 to 3:30, but I don't know if he thinks that's Eastern time or his local time. He's in Oklahoma. So I did just text him a moment ago. He's texting back now. It's bubbling coming across my phone. But I texted him and I told him 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, and he thinks it's Central time.
Well, there's a big difference between a C and an E, is all I can say, because I am very, very cognizant of the time zone.
At 2:30 p.m., that's 3:30 Eastern. I guess we can do that with him, right?
We could do 3:30 Eastern if we wanted.
Okay, all right.
I mean, if he's our friend, we'll bend over backwards and.
That's right.
Tell him 3:30 to 4, because at 4 you and I have a meeting with another buddy of ours.
Oh, I forgot that. I'm glad you reminded me.
Well, how much you and I forget and then remind each other, it really works out well.
I'm telling you.
So far, we haven't forgot the same thing at the same time, which has been really good.
I'm just going. We can do 2:30, and he's only got a half hour as well. Yeah.
Well, but he might think he has an hour. That's why I want you to tell him 4 o'clock.
He thinks he's got. Well, anyway, he's saying, can we do 2:30 to 3 Central? Okay.
Dennis is right here with us, Jay. He says, see if Jim Z can break away from his kids early.
Right.
Because you could do that. You could call up Jim and see if he wants to come an hour early.
We're still going to have a half hour break there because Corey can't come to 3:30. So I tell you what, Scott, I've actually got an important errand that I could run and be back. Jim Z is at 3 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think of that? Or I mean, we don't have to keep live. I mean, we can sign back in, right?
No, I don't think so. We can't end the broadcast.
Ah, gotcha. Oh, that's right. Because you've sent the same link out to everybody.
Right. So
I got you.
So you can do your errand afterwards, and you can tell us about another house.
Oh my land, you're wearing me out, Scott. Well, in that case, I'll just go ahead and let Jim know that he can come on when he wants to.
Right. You know, when you were talking about calling up the bandit sign guy, and you've told that type of story before, not that specific one, but where, you know, you're driving around, you see a bandit sign, you know it's not yours. That is one of the things about real estate investing that blew my mind when I first started hearing about it, because most of the industries that I've been involved in are cutthroat. You know, my background's grocery stores. So, you know, we're selling pork and beans for 35 cents. You sell them for 34. We sell them for 33. And that's kind of how it goes. And we don't like the other grocery store owners. And yet when it comes to, you know, real estate investing, it's so easy to turn another real estate I mean, obviously, you know, there'll be times when you might be bidding for the same place and there is competition, but there's so much more room for cooperation, where it's like, you know, I've got this deal, I don't really like it that much, you know, why don't you see what you can do with it, or vice versa. And that's just amazing to me.
Yeah, it can be very collaborative, and unfortunately, a lot of real estate investors don't see it like that. But it can be very, very collaborative. I mean, that's why it's so important to be involved with your local real estate investing association or meetup or wherever they get together, and, you know, share deals with each other, you know, make money together, joint venture, which I do not promote joint venturing. I think you should just use private money to have a set, you know, interest rate for your money. Yeah, there's opportunities. I mean, just all kinds of opportunities on how to work together and learn from each other.
Well, and what you said about joint ventures, I really agree with. I think everyone needs to know their role. And if you do a joint venture with someone and you want to paint the place green and they want to paint the place yellow, then, you know, who makes the decision? So I think it's a lot better when you just look after everything yourself, but there's certain aspects like lead generation, or like I forget the name of who we interviewed, but he was talking about wholesaling, and he just does a little bit of the wholesaling job, right? He finds the leads and he gives the leads to another wholesaler, and then they go and, you know, flip the leads. And it's just, I was like, really? Yeah. He says, I don't like doing all that other stuff that you'd have to do, but I like doing this part. And it was like, oh, wow. So you can find, it's like anything, when you become really good and an expert on one aspect of a series of tasks, you stand out, because he was bringing hundreds of leads to wholesalers that were only able to find tens of leads, right?
Exactly. Let's see here. Dennis just asked a question. Do you suggest that investors provide money, or on a deal-by-deal basis, or borrow it for a period of time, i.e. 12 months? So I recommend both. So yes, is the answer, Dennis. So I borrow the money for a deal, for secure the money, buy a particular house, and there's going to be a term to that note. Typically my terms, or my length of the note, is 2 years for investment capital. and 5 years if I'm borrowing the money from retirement funds in a self-directed IRA, say at Quest. And so even if I haven't cashed out within the 2-year period, the private lenders don't want their money back. If they get their money back, they stop earning money, right? So even if I haven't cashed out, typically we will just extend the note. So good question, Dennis. What you think there, Scott? You like you're looking at something.
I'm just moving around my please like and subscribe and leave a comment and ask a question banners so that I can get at them easily when I want to put your name up on the screen too.
I got you.
So I can't say that I'm doing anything incredibly important right now.
I got you.
How do you spell Jim's last name?
Zaspel. Zaspel. Jim Zaspel. Did you say we have Gary scheduled for
no, I said I got Gary and Corey confused.
Okay, are we still trying to get Gary scheduled?
Yeah, we were, but you decided to go deep sea fishing instead.
Oh, that was going to be the video
on Thursday?
Gary?
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah.
So are you going fishing on Thursday?
I'm not going on Thursday.
But you got Ron all day.
But I got Would you reach out to Gary and see if there's any way he could do it tomorrow?
Okay.
Or
I haven't emailed him yet, but basically right. Thursday and Friday you're unavailable.
Right, but I really need to do that with Gary. I really do.
Oh. Do you know Jim's website?
I do not.
I've got Jim the House Guy.
Yeah, that's his email.
Right.
I don't know as whether Jim's going to be putting out a website, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'll just leave his name then.
Yeah. I mean, we could ask him.
There's his name. I got it right?
That's it.
It's coming at the top of the hour, folks.
Excellent. Oh, here's my Facebook notification. I got a Facebook notification that Jay Connor, the Private Money Authority, is live.
Yeah. Thank you, Dennis. Dennis gave me the URL.
Oh, so it is jimzaspel.com?
Yeah. And by the way, Dennis also knows Ron's itinerary. Ron thinks he's going fishing as of yesterday during his event. They are going fishing. It's just a question whether it's Thursday or Friday, and I'm assuming it's Friday, right?
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Do what? That Carol Joy just poked her head in the door and said hello. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So did you see my text? I'm like live here on StreamYard until there's lots of people right there looking at me and Scott, and we're waiting for our next interview, our next guest. Right, well, come here and say hey to everybody. No, that's right. Carol Joy says hey to everybody. Dennis here.
Hi, Carol Joy.
Scott said hey, Carol Joy. Dennis here, put in the comment bar, says Ron LeGrand thinks he's going fishing as of yesterday. He talked about it during his event. Yes, he did. We heard that he did. He told us that he did. Oh, I remember you telling me. Oh, mercy. Okay, thank you.
So actually, one of the things that I wanted to bring up when we were talking about your houses that I was surprised about was how many that you rent to own, so you're not just flipping a house every few weeks or whatever. Sometimes it takes a while for them to actually, you've sold a house on a rent to own basis, and then it takes a little while for them to actually get their credit right or get whatever needs to be done in order to. And so, and if you'd have asked me, not knowing and not having a clue, I would have said, oh, maybe that's like 2 or 3 homes. But evidently I'm out by quite a bit.
That's right. Dennis says we got time for a little soft shoe dance pretty soon. That's funny. So we sell a lot of homes on rent to own. We've got 28 houses right now that people are in the rent to own process and moving their way towards through credit repair and getting ready for a mortgage. And some of them get there within 90 days, 6 months. Some of them it takes 18 months or 2 years to get there, just depending on what their situation is, how low their credit scores are, and et cetera. And the way we sell them on rent to own is we actually let the market speak. What I mean is I let the market decide. So on a lot of our homes, when we go to sell them, we'll put them in the multiple listing service and list it with our real estate agent. And we'll simultaneously market it to potential rent-to-own buyers. And so whoever shows up first, either with an offer that I will accept from multiple listing service, or if the rent-to-own prospect has got a large enough non-refundable, most people call it a lease option deposit. The actual legal term is an option fee. So a non-refundable option fee. And they've got enough verifiable income, and we look at their credit scores and see how far they've got to go with our credit repair company to get them ready for a mortgage. Then I may sell it on rent to own. So again, we will let the market speak on that. Now, the way that option fee works, non-refundable lease option deposit, if you will, is they pay that money up front. It could be $5,000, $10,000. We've got one closing here in about a week from now, and they're giving us a $22,000 non-refundable option fee. So they give us the money, and when they get ready for their mortgage and ready to cash us out, well, hello there, Laurie. Yes, hi, Jay. Glad I saw the live notice. I'm glad you did too, Laurie, and glad you're here. We're just hanging out, talking about real estate investing. So that option fee, when they get ready for their mortgage and their credit scores are in line, then we're going to apply that money that they paid us first to closing costs. So average house around here, when they get ready for a mortgage is about $5,000 in closing costs. Well, we'll take $5,000 of their non-refundable option fee, apply to the closing costs, and then whatever is left over goes towards their purchase price, so they're not having to finance as much. Now, about 80% of our rent-to-own buyers actually end up qualifying for a mortgage. That's because we force them into credit repair. If you don't do that, then maybe 5% of them will ever cash out.
Wow.
So that's a big difference. And so if they move out, or if they get a divorce, or somebody dies, if something happens and they do not want to go forward with the deal, then they do forfeit 100% of that option fee. We bring that in as income on our profit and loss statement at that time as a forfeited option fee. So that becomes income at that time. It's not income when you bring the money in. It doesn't become income until you either bring it in as a forfeited deposit or you apply it to the sale of a house. And then we go sell the home again. So again, we're able to serve a lot of people. We get most of our rent-to-own prospects raising their hands and interested in our rent-to-own program from Facebook Marketplace. And those are free ads. Those are absolutely free. We also get a lot of response from putting ads in groups that are in Facebook Marketplace. One place that you really get a lot of leads of potential rent-to-own buyers is in yard sale groups. I can't tell you why, but I can just tell you it works. Yard sale groups, like we've got one here locally in Havelock, North Carolina, called Cherry Point Yard Sales. Well, that's a very, very large Facebook group that is inside Facebook Marketplace. So that's a great place to find a lot of leads absolutely for free right there on Facebook for people to buy on a rent to own.
Wow. And you were also, just to go back to the whole rent to own, you were saying that that 28 seems to be, oh, Jim is joining us.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm here, man. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. This didn't make it to my calendar, so my apologies. Hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
No,
You're still actually early, Jim. You're early.
We're running ahead of schedule, so that's why I texted you.
There we go. I'm glad you did, because I'm double booked as it is, so I'm glad we're here.
Oh no! Does that mean you're booked in 9 minutes?
I'm booked right now, but I'm with you first, so that's all that matters.
I got you. So Jim, we're actually live. We're like
Awesome.
live. We're live streaming right now, and
Cool.
and the reason we're doing that is to let people know, what we got coming up and etc. So on this little video, I'm going to follow your lead. So if you want to, we can go, 5 minutes or whatever you want to do. I mean, if you want to ask me about who I am and,
Yep.
for folks in your world that don't know who I am and what I do and et cetera. And we'll talk about the 3 free Fridays that your folks get to come for free to and do it any way you want to do it. Hey, Scott, do we want to ask Jim if he wants to create his own URL to forward to his link?
So Jim, we made you an affiliate link.
Great.
And I don't know if you've seen, you probably haven't seen the email. Nobody's seen the email, but it was sent.
I believe you.
And if you want,
momentarily.
and if you want to make a pretty link like jimzaspel.com/free day or something like that, we can
Well,
say
he would have to do that on his end to forward to his link.
right, but we can be talking about it now. So he
Oh yeah, we can be talking about it now if you want to do something like that, Jim.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, let's get started, Jay. So, Jay, you and I met about 11 years ago, and you've been in real estate a lot longer than I have been. So, tell us about yourself, how you got started in real estate investing, and give us the Jay Conner in a nutshell. You got a lot of interesting stories behind you. So let folks get to know you a little bit.
Well, I don't know if I can do Jay Conner in a nutshell because you just told me last week it takes me 10 minutes to say my name, right? So, in fact, I remember, Jim, the very first real estate investing event that you and I met at. I don't know what brought it on, but I think I was brought up on the platform to, I don't know, talk or something. And I sat back down and I was sitting right next to you at this at the event, and you leaned over to me and you said, "Talk Jay Conner can do." So
I remember it like it was yesterday, man.
So anyway, so who am I and what have I been doing? So as you said, Jim, I've been investing here in Eastern North Carolina since 2003, full time since 2003. And the first 6 years of the business, I relied on local banks and mortgage companies to fund my deals. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the third week of January 2009, 6 years into the business. I called up my banker on this telephone right here. I called him up. His name was Steve. And I got Steve on the phone. And I'd had this conversation with Steve many times. I told Steve I had these 2 properties under contract, which, by the way, back in 2009, when you put earnest money down in North Carolina, you couldn't get it back. So I got money tied up in the deals. And these 2 deals represented over $100,000 in profit. And so I told Steve about the deals and when, closing was scheduled and the funding that I needed for the deals. And I learned in that conversation that I've been cut off and my lines of credit are gone from the bank. And I wish I'd known that before I put the money down, right? And so within 2 weeks of actually going to this event that I was at with you, I learned about private money. I came back home. I put my private money program on steroids. And I was able to raise $2,150,000 in funding from individuals, either their investment capital or their retirement funds. And so I was able to close on those 2 deals that I had
That's
under
good.
contract. I didn't lose those. And since that time, I've not missed out on a deal because I didn't have the funding. So I'm still full-time in the business. I do 2 to 3 deals a month. Our average profits are $67,000 per deal.
You make me want to puke, my friend. You make me want to puke. $67,000 per deal. So you just told me that you work half as hard as I do and get paid twice as much, is what you just said.
So anyway, I do the business. I love the business, and I got bored back in 2011 because we got an amazing team put together for doing the business. So that's when I put on a teacher hat, and I started educating other real estate investors, particularly on how to get a lot of funding for their deals without relying on their credit, verification of income, or experience in real estate.
That's awesome. Well, there's one thing, you did a training just a week or 2 ago that I was on, and a bunch of high-level folks, and it was like, holy moly's, when you're in the hands of a professional, and I don't mean a professional speaker, which you are, but what a few of my friends and I were talking afterwards is a professional teacher, because it's, wow, this is doable, and makes it super clear, and of course you're fun as heck to listen to besides. So it's good.
I got a little bit of different accent than the folks up there in PA, right?
A little bit. So, hey man, so we're doing a couple of things here coming up. These 3 individual days. So tell folks about what we got, what's in the books for how you're going to help folks out and get some free training coming up.
Yep. So for your subscribers, your followers, Jim, and I know you've got quite a network. You can invite all your people to come absolutely for free to 3 Fridays in a row on real estate virtual training right here on the internet. These 3 free Fridays the first one is going to be May 22nd, Friday, May 22nd. And folks, this is not a 2-hour training per Friday. This is all day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday, May 22nd is the first one, then Friday, May 29th, and then Friday, June the 5th. All these 3 Fridays are going to be not only how to survive, but how to actually thrive when you're in the midst of uncertain times. And even when we come out on the other side of coronavirus, there's always going to be those uncertain times that come around the corner. So in the midst of coronavirus, coming out on the other side, how you can be very successful in real estate investing, whether you're a seasoned real estate investor or you're brand new and never done a deal. The first Friday, Jim, on May 22nd, I'm going to be teaching all day long, focusing on private money, how to actually locate the private money and the funding, particularly right now while coronavirus and the consequences of it are still going on. I actually have more private money coming to me without me asking for any money. It's chasing me. And I'm going to be sharing with everybody of your folks that come there to the free Friday how I actually am raising all this money in the millions without ever asking anybody for money. Right,
Jay? That's incredible. And if I can interrupt and just plug for you for a second, so I will say that in my experience personally and people I know, one of the biggest things that we're afraid of, what do you say? Right? How do you ask for the money, but you don't even get to do that. And so I'm going to put a hook out there for folks that, Jay has this, I'm going to just use the words, magical way of talking about, not even asking for, talking about private money and then getting it. So you're in for a super treat. I know you're going to talk about some of the stuff on that Friday on the 22nd, but I just want to stop right there. That alone is just incredible.
Yeah, well, and in fact, Jim, I mean, you know what you're talking about as well, and you can speak to it because you've raised a ton of private money yourself.
Yes. We have several $1 million in private capital, all using Jay's processes and systems. There's one time I raised just over $500,000 at one luncheon using Jay's system and process, and that $500,000, by the way, grew to be with those same private lenders to right now it's over $1.5 million private money from those same people.
That's awesome. So that's the first Friday, May 22nd. And then the second Friday, May 29th, It's going to be, I'm going to be focusing on foreclosures. And here's what I mean when I say foreclosures. So right now, our country's starting to open up a little bit, but the foreclosures, people that were in foreclosure but hadn't gone, their houses had not gone to sale, when coronavirus was come along, so they put a stay on the foreclosures, and there's no new sales going on, right now, and won't be for the next few weeks. Well, as my grandmother would say, all they're doing is saving up spit. That stuff ain't going anywhere. I mean, there's just going to be more spit all at one time, right?
So I got to write that one down, man. That's good.
So, you can always count on me to give you a nugget, Jim.
Yes.
So you got all these people that there's going to be this wave of new foreclosures just from the pent up demand, and then on top of that, we got all these millions of people, over 30 million people, unemployed, laid off. Well, that's going to create even more foreclosures. So here's the deal. And if any of you all have ever met me or heard me speak, I come from a place of a servant's heart. Look out for the other person first, and you're not going to have to worry about yourself. So there's going to be a huge opportunity to serve a lot of people that are going to be having their own crisis. I mean, you talk about the coronavirus crisis, there's going to be the foreclosure crisis that's coming up.
Yes.
So you're going to be able to serve a bunch of people, help them out of their crisis, and in return, I will teach you how to create win-win scenarios to where you serve these people and you make a ton of money at the same time in serving these people. That's the second Friday. The third Friday, on June the 5th, I call it How to Locate Free Private Money. So I'm going to be teaching a strategy on that Friday as to how you can actually get funding for a lot of your deals without having to borrow any money. So I'm just going to leave the teaser at that. That's
I got a list of this stuff.
Yes, the third Friday, how to get funding for your deals without borrowing any money. And I'm not talking about using your own money either. So that's going to be free private money on Friday, June the 5th. And Jim, whenever it's appropriate, I'll let you tell people how they can register, or maybe they'll be seeing it right here. I don't know. But if you have not registered, folks, I know we're going to fill up. Because you are in Jim Zaspel's world, you get to come for free. Get registered right now.
That is a huge giveaway. So what I'll tell you, folks, if you're watching this, the first thing I'll tell you is I think you can tell from watching Jay spend 10 minutes to say hello, is that he truly is a servant's heart, and I'll say more importantly for your purposes, is he knows what the heck he's talking about, and he's darn good at it. And most importantly, he makes it so doable. And I've heard, anytime we learn something new, there's this onboarding process that makes it a challenge. Jay makes new stuff seem so easy and so doable, and just because he's so good at it himself. So you're in great hands. So if you got emailed a link to this video, then the way it's going to work is there will be a link to register. And again, it's totally free, Jay's doing. There will be a link to register for these free trainings in that email. And then if this video is on a page or on one of my social media pages, it'll be in the description as well. So check the email if you got an email. If you're watching on social media, check the first comment or the description, and the link will be there. So go ahead and click it, because I don't know what Jay's limit is, but obviously because of technology and bandwidth and all those things, there are only so many people who can fit in a class each day.
Thank you so much, Jim, for having me on here. And you're going to be joining me, I think, on a panel discussion. So you all, not only do you get me, but you get the main man himself at these virtual trainings as well. So I look forward to seeing all of you and Jim at the upcoming virtual trainings. We'll see you there.
Awesome, Jay. I really appreciate you doing this, folks. Get registered now, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you, Jay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace.
All right, Jim. Thank you.
Dude, I forgot what in the heck we were doing a video about. I didn't know what this was. I got an email from Scott that says, here's your StreamYard link. I'm like, and then I got text from you. I'm like, what for? What are we doing?
We're never ever going to tell you, Jim, what we're talking about ever again, because you did an awesome job.
And then we're like, hey, we're live. I was like, okay, great. I don't know what we're talking about. It's great.
Hey, Jim, do your eyes like that again. I hadn't seen that facial expression in a long time.
But we figured it out. We figured it out.
That's right.
All right. Well, look, hey, Jim, sincerely, thank you so much for the feedback on the session that I gave a couple of weeks ago. That makes me feel good that it was easy to follow and easy to understand.
Yeah, and I wasn't BSing either. It was true. I forget. I was talking to one or two people afterwards, individually, unrelated, and everybody was super excited. So very good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're double booked, so I don't want to hold you up.
Alrighty, thank you guys, and let me know what to do next because I just checked my emails from you, Scott. I didn't have anything else from you. I have 3 emails. The one that says 3 p.m., the one that says here's the link, and then the first one on April 27th. So if you guys can kind of send me whatever you need me to have.
Sure. We'll get the video all set up for you or ready for you to do whatever you want with it. And then we're also going to write a bunch of emails around each of the days and we'll send them to you and you can pop them out whenever you want.
Perfect.
And
Thanks.
some images and other stuff so that you got
Cool.
it. And if you don't have your affiliate link, let me know because I have
don't
email.
have that.
Okay.
I just checked. Yeah, I don't have it.
I don't know why nobody's getting it yet, Scott, for some strange
Jim the
reason.
House Guy PA at Gmail.
Yeah, I have. So I just went in my email and I hit, from scott@patentmail.com.
Correct.
And I have those 3 emails I just listed for you, and that's all I have. So maybe resend it. Text me.
Yeah.
If you can get my cell number from Jay, text me when you send it, and I'll check.
Okay.
Actually, you can also email me if just at jimzaspel@gmail as well.
Okay. You'll get a whole bunch of stuff. Let me know if you don't get anything.
Will do.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you guys. Yep, we'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Let's see, Laurie says Jim or link. Maybe Laurie is asking. Okay, so I can go ahead and tell everybody right now. If you haven't heard the link, I can go ahead and tell everybody right now how all of you. I should have done this way long ago, Scott.
We were thinking.
So anyway,
There's
for all of
the
you that don't have the link, there's Dennis. Jay, good stuff. See you later. Bye-bye, Dennis. You can go to www.jayconner. Scott's got it up there on the screen. Jayconner, JAYCONNER.com/fortune.
Yep, you put your name and your email in. You'll be on the list. You should get an autoresponder saying that we've got your email. We will send you a link to the events as we've set them up. And the thank you page is actually a real thank you. We have the Jay Conner Private Money Academy membership site, and we're giving everybody that comes 4 weeks free of the gold level, so you can join for free. And inside is some great training that Jay has put together on real estate. So if you're just beginning this, it covers everything you need to know, everything you need to learn more about, might be a better way of putting it, about real estate. And then we've got some other really good training in there for you as well. So
Excellent.
And we have 20 minutes before Corey shows up, right?
So
you need to go stretch your legs.
I think I will. So for everybody that's on right now, we're gonna be live the whole time, but I'm gonna step away for a few minutes, and we're gonna have Corey Boatwright, amazing real estate investor himself, here at the bottom of the hour in 21 minutes from now at 3:30. So I'm going to stretch my legs, Scott.
And go ask Brenda about a deal that you've just finished so you can tell everybody about it.
All righty.
I unmuted you and I unmuted me.
Okay, excellent.
We're back.
We are back, sort of. Let me see here.
So in 10 minutes, Corey Boatwright is going to join us. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to be talking about 3 free trainings that you can get at www.jconnor.com/fortune. There are 3 Fridays, not this one, but the following 3, which are, let me just put this thing up, May 22, 29, and June 5th. We're going to be talking about private money, foreclosures, and free private money in the world. Let me bring my mic over. Forgot about my mic. I changed how I look. It probably sounded like I was far away.
Actually, you were sounding good there, Scott.
Good. Now, don't tell me I sound bad now that I moved my mic.
No, you're sounding even better.
Oh, awesome. So yeah, we're going to be talking about 3 of the main pillars, in my opinion, to be successful in real estate investing. And what makes what we're doing right now so amazing is there has never been a situation like we're in right now. And we really think, I was talking to somebody actually, Jay, who is a finance guy, and he said 2 things. One is you take the 3 months that you're not paying and you put it at the end of your mortgage. Everyone thinks that's going to happen, but it's not automatic. And what will happen to most people, because most people aren't going to pay any attention, they're going to say, the news told me I didn't have to pay, blah, blah, blah. And after 3 or 4 months or 6 months, because maybe they extended another couple months, then the bank is going to say, you owe us 3 months rent. It's like, I don't have enough money for 1 month's rent, let alone 3. And
exactly.
And then there's going to be this massive movement through this foreclosure. It's going to be like a pig in a python or a pig in a garden hose. And those people need help, because if they do go through foreclosure, that's going to be on their credit score for, I thought 10 years. You told me 10 years plus, and it just doesn't automatically come off. You've got to apply and go through this whole rigmarole. So it's going to be a real problem for people. And I think if we position ourselves and the people coming to the trainings position themselves so they understand what they're doing, they have a plan in place, they know how to execute the place, they have mentors and coaches in place, then when this thing hits, they're going to be ready with their private money to go in and really rescue people who are financially, I would say, illiterate. It's not that they're necessarily, stupid or dumb or anything. It's just that's not an area where they spend any time learning. And
that's right.
And it wasn't a problem when you had enough money every month to pay your rent. And it is a problem when you don't. And most Americans and Canadians, I'm Canadian, live hand to mouth, one month at a time. And if they don't, I couldn't believe that, I forget what the percentage is, but they always say, X percent, and it's usually like 70 or 80% of Americans, if they miss a paycheck, they're in financial trouble because they can't make it back.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, either people barely make enough money to keep it together, or they make a lot of money, and unfortunately, most people, no matter how much they make, they spend it all, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people just don't have the discipline to
Uh-oh. I hope we didn't lose him. think we did lose him.
Okay, I'm back.
Yay, you're back.
Yeah, I was hearing you, I was seeing you, but I had a black screen with a thing going around in a circle. So I disconnected from my internet and connected again to my internet.
So you were talking about discipline.
Yes, that most people just don't, even if they have enough money coming in to where they could save, unfortunately, you know, most people don't.
Yeah, you're really right there, Jay, because I had a friend who he would proudly tell me he's making $12,000 net a month. And then he would turn around and say, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, I'm here. I was just trying to get my laptop straight.
Okay. And then he'd turn around and tell me that the problem was he spent 15 grand a month. I don't know how you spend 15 grand a month, but he did. And, but he did some work on his mindset and on his beliefs and all that sort of, woo-woo personal development stuff.
Right.
And 6 months later, he told me, he says, I'm making 8 or 9 instead of 12, but I'm only spending 4.
Well, that's a big difference.
That's a huge difference.
For sure.
So he was pretty happy because there's so much stress when you don't know how you're going to pay your bills.
Whew. I'm telling you. Well, folks, we should be having Corey Boatwright joining us here in about 4 minutes. And then after Corey Boatwright, we will finish the StreamYard, right?
Yeah, that's the end.
And then what are we on Zoom for Lex?
That's right. That's right.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
So in 4 minutes, are you going to tell us about a deal that you've closed recently?
I hope you and your editor can go in and like snag these little stories, right?
This is why I'm asking you these things.
So let's see here, a recent deal. Well, let me put on my thinking cap and let's see here. What are the crew and the contractors working on? Yes, okay. So we just started rehabbing this house last week, small house in Newport, and it's probably only got like barely 1,000 square feet. So this was how I found the deal was it was an ad, an actual paid ad on Facebook that I was running. And it's a picture, the ad is a picture of me with a yellow bandit sign in front of me, in front of my picture. And I'm holding this bandit sign and it says full price for your house.
Wow.
And the phone number, right? And so, and there's a picture behind me, or I'm standing in front of, some houses, etc. So the daughter of the elderly lady that was living in this home contacted me from this Facebook ad, or contacting my acquisitionist. And so the story is this: the lady that was living in the house, she had been living in this home for like over 30 years, maybe 40 years, long time. And she got to the point that she just could not keep up the house anymore. And she was needing to go move into an assisted living somewhere, which of course, thank goodness when I bought the house, coronavirus had not shut everything down. And so she contacted us, and the after repaired value on this home is approximately $140,000. I bought it for $52,000, but it is about a $30,000 rehab. So $52,000 purchase, $30,000 rehab. We'll have between purchase and rehab $82,000, but still yet the after repaired value is right at $140,000. The reason the rehab is so much is because we're actually moving walls around and opening up the kitchen and making it larger. But here is the interesting part of this story as to why I got the deal. An actual competing real estate investor, and there aren't many of them around here in my small area, but an actual competing real estate investor offered $5,000 more than I did. So how is it that I got the deal? Two ways. You see, as long as you can understand where the seller is coming from and what their motivation is, you'll get more of your offers accepted. You see, I knew this lady had nowhere to move. She was going to need to move, but she hadn't even gotten any plans together on where to move. So here was my offer. I pay her all cash. So it was free and clear. So there was no way to buy it subject to the existing note. So we paid her I paid all cash with private money, closed on the deal. And my offer was, I'll pay you $52,000, but you can go ahead and get all your money now. And you can live in the home for free for 2 months after we close, and give yourself plenty of time to find, somewhere that you would want to move to. So that gave her the cash flow, gave her the money, cash in her pocket, so she could, move on with, the rest of her life, and still stay there in her home for a couple of months. It was because of that offer we got the deal accepted.
Yeah. So it's not always only about the money.
That's right. That's right. In this case, it was getting the money quicker, because I told her she could have all of her money in 7 days.
Right.
So getting all the money, getting it very, very quick, and then allowing her to live there for a couple of months.
And what was the after repaired value again, Jay?
140,000.
Cool. So 52 for the house, 30,000 to fix it up, and you're going to sell it for 140.
Correct.
So you're going to make your usual profit.
Exactly. On a small house.
On a small house.
And of course, we were able to buy it such a discounted price as well, because there was no mortgage. It was free and clear, no mortgages on it.
Right. So there's the details. 52 to buy it, 30 to fix it, and sell it between 130 and 150.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Tom, Tom, Mann, Mann, Tom Mann Road house. The Tom Mann Road house.
Let's make sure I got that right.
2 N's, sorry. Mann. To be exact. Okay, I'm going to shoot Corey a text and tell him we are ready when he is.
And for those watching, I'm just going to put a thanks for watching so that I know where this story is.
There you go.
So, Jay, it would seem pretty obvious that housing prices are not going to be going up for the next little while.
Well, actually, they are. According to a Wall Street Journal article I read last week. And here's why. You got a lot of people that had their home in the multiple listing service for sale. And now a share of those people are fearful and don't want people in their house. So they take their house off the market. And now you have a smaller supply. And when you got smaller supply of houses, prices goes up. Wow. And there's Corey Boatwright.
What's up, Jay?
Hello, Corey. Man, the only time I get to see you is Friday afternoons when you're either in your car or
right,
or sitting in your office. So great to see you here on StreamYard. So
this is great. I like StreamYard. I really need to get into it more. I like the chat feature over here already. That's really cool. I like how the view is here. If you can switch, can you switch the view around? Yeah, there we go. Cool.
Yeah. And you can put fancy pictures behind us and all that kind of stuff. Like if Scott just puts the two of us up here, we can have a real fancy picture behind us.
I like that. That's great. That's great.
And you can be live streaming to multiple channels, Facebook, multiple YouTube channels. I think you can stream, can't you? That's my favorite picture there. You can stream, can't you, Scott, to 5 different channels simultaneously?
Yeah, 5 different channels.
I love it. So you can be on YouTube at the same time, Facebook at the same time. Can you be on Insta Live as well?
Not yet, but LinkedIn is coming soon. They actually they do a StreamYard owners programmers thing every Sunday, and every once in a while I tune in. And last Sunday they said, we're really excited. We've been talking to LinkedIn. Make sure you've applied to be on LinkedIn Live, and Jay has, and so that'll be really interesting. And then if you have other places, there's coding, which basically means a bunch of letters and numbers and another bunch of letters and numbers that you can get from places like Twitch or Apple TV and stuff. And then you can put that into StreamYard, or you put it the other way. I'm not sure which way it goes. And then you can StreamYard to streaming TV, which is what our plan is for when we do our live events, is to be having that set up by then.
So I love that. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Absolutely. Yeah.
So Corey, I'll be following your lead. I'd recommend maybe we hang out for 5 minutes or whatever. But your followers, your subscribers, your people get to come for free, as you already know, to those 3 free Fridays. You may if you put it on social media, definitely when Scott gets to editing this, you can have it in the emails that you'll start sending out next week. But since your people probably don't know me, you might want to ask me who I am and what my background is, or the short version of my story, if I have a short version. And then, get me to talk about what we're going to do on these 3 free Fridays. But hey, look, you've been doing this show longer than I have, so I'll follow your lead, man.
Well, that's good. I like it. So we'll talk about the emphasis of 3 free Fridays, and we'll talk about really just giving away the best content that they possibly could have for private money, learning about private money, why it's useful for them, and especially right now, why it's even more important to be able to have as many weapons as you can in your toolbox in the real estate investing world, especially if you're a wholesaler. So I'll kind of spin that a little bit, and let's see. Are they getting some gifts? Are they getting some gifts when they show up?
When they register, they're getting an entire month, 4 weeks free in my new membership site called the Private Money Academy. That's got a ton of content in there, and so they're going to get that's going to be a free gift that's just for registering. That's just for registering for for the 3 Fridays. The first Friday they focus on private money. Second Friday focus on foreclosures, meaning how to help a bunch of people that's going to be in foreclosure because of all this.
Right.
And create win-win scenarios. And then the third Friday is going to be about what I call how to get a bunch of free private money, how to get funding for your deals without having to borrow any money from anybody and not use your money. So that's just my teaser. That's my teaser.
I like it. I love the teaser. Okay, so that's good. And it starts on what day?
The first Friday is May 22nd.
Okay, 22nd. All right.
And the second Friday, the 29th, and then June 5th. One thing you might want to think about, Corey, is if you want to create a pretty link, like whatever your website is, .com/whatever,
right,
to forward to your affiliate link, which Scott is mailing you. Or
I think what we'll do is I'll look and check here to make sure it's still available, but I want to say it was Get Private Money Now. Was still available unless it was taken. It's taken now. Let's see, it's just Get.
Or if you want to promote, or ever have people know your website or know you and your.
Yeah, I got that on my own link. I just like to have one of the simple links to be able to track everything to that one page. But I can do it.
whatever works for you.
Yeah, I can do the same thing. I'll probably let me just make sure that I've got this pretty link.
Oh, Scott just put up there getprivatemoneyeasily.com. Is that available, Scott? It's a little long.
I don't like the easily.
I don't
Right.
know. I was trying to think of another word other than now.
But it was, well, both of those taken.
Of course, I mean, we don't have to say it verbally here.
Yeah. Well, I like to though, like to push them on to that.
Get more private money.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Of course, we don't have to keep it around private money because that's just the first Friday.
Mm-hmm. And the next Friday is going to be
Foreclosures.
and the next one's after that's going to be basically how they get private money without
That's going to be free. That's going to be free private money.
free private money. Right. So private money, foreclosures, and free private money. First one is money that cost you money, and then last one's free private money.
That's right.
I tell you what, that would be a good one. Oh, that's not all right.
Let's see here. Well, if people knew how to spell Corona, which they don't,
probably don't want to do that.
Well, you can go www.getcoronamoney.
Yeah, Corona money.
Well, and you can't do crisis because people don't know how to spell crisis.
No, we don't want crisis. It was
How about free funding? I don't know. People don't know how to spell funding.
funding. Yeah, I free funding's taken too. I thought I put in private money now and it was available. I guess it wasn't available. So it's
You sure you didn't buy it?
no, I didn't buy it. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll make sure that let's see if that's available. Yeah, it is. All right, private money servant is available.
Ooh, I like private money servant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, after all this is over, you can resell it to me.
So I can either go realestateservant.com/private money, or I can go to private money servant. I like private money servant. It's a pretty easy thing to remember.
I think most people know how to spell servant.
Yeah, and I have a lot of servants, so I think that's the one we'll go with here. Let me just make sure I'm checking one other thing if I didn't have another domain. Kind of like it, kind of don't.
I got you. It's not ringing your bell. Do you want to keep it? You want to keep it around private money?
I would, because I think that's going to be your biggest influence.
Is private money now taken?
It is. I think what I'll do is I'll just keep it on realestateservant.com/private money, because then I could just do it's just long. It's just long. Well, Jay, maybe I don't mention it on here, and I could just drive them. I can just drive them. I would really like to mention it on the video, but
yeah, if you're going social, you can put it on the. You can put it visually, and of course, in the email. I mean, you could.
What's something specific about your private money that is very memorable?
I never asked for it, but I get a bunch of it. But that would be a long thing. Private money without asking, funding without asking. That's long.
You have Jay. You know Jay's private money is available.
No, I didn't know that.
Jays, Jays, privatemoney.com is available. And it actually says because it has the word money in it that you potentially could have your keyword at $2,148.
No. Wow. Well, where are you looking, GoDaddy?
Yeah. Well, I've got it uses GoDaddy as one of the places it searches.
You got a special tool.
I got a tool.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I like the 3-word, maybe private money place. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool too. Private money place is available.
Private money place.
Kind of rings.
It rolls off the tongue.
It rolls off the tongue.
.com.
Yeah, it's available, but it's kind of long. But I like that, or I like private money servant. I think private money servant's a bit.
Yeah, place is easier.
That place is easier.
How about private money party? I'm reminding you of that because we have piano.
I think we could go on this all day long.
We could, and at the top of the hour, we've got a meeting, Jay.
Yeah, so let's do private money place. I like it.
Let's do it.
I like private money place.
Scott, you know you're in the presence of a marketing wizard, right?
Yes.
And Corey's pretty smart too.
Oh, Jay. That's funny.
It was funny. I didn't even think about it until I was saying it.
That's funny.
Well, hey, look, we can. I mean, this video is only going to be 5 minutes, so we'll be good.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it recorded.
All right, I'm following your lead, Corey.
All righty. There we are. StreamYard. I like StreamYard. That's pretty cool. StreamYard. Okay, let me turn off my phone. Okay. All right, so okay, ready?
Ready.
You tell me. So you want to do a countdown?
Sure. So here is Corey Boatwright interviewing Jay Conner on what's happening at privatemoneyplace.com and when in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Jay, my man, how you doing?
Hello, Corey. I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
My lands.
All my lands.
Oh, my lands. Jay, I know that you are the private money authority, but some people do not know who you are that are going to be attending here on this event that I'm so excited to bring on these free Fridays. There's 3 of them total. Would you mind going ahead and just sharing a 5-second little just snippet of kind of who you are, what you are doing right now in the private money space? And I'm going to share about the gift that we're going to give all the people that are going to attend this special event.
All right, excellent. So yes, my wife, Carol Joy, and I, we've been investing in single family houses full-time since 2003. And the first 6 years of us doing the business, I relied on local banks to fund our real estate investing deals.
Right.
Well, the 3rd week of January 2009, Corey, I called up my banker right here on this telephone where I'm sitting, and I learned in that phone call that I had been cut off with no funding, no lines of credit. They were gone. And I had 2 houses under contract worth over $100,000 in profit. So my definition of coincidence, Corey, is God's way of staying anonymous. So in less than 2 weeks, I was introduced to this wonderful world of private money, not hard money, not hard money lenders or brokers. I'm talking about doing business with with individuals, human beings. And I learned about how to borrow money from their investment capital. I also learned about self-directed IRAs, how people can loan money to my business from their retirement funds. So I learned all about
that out there. There's a lot of that out there right now.
Even more now.
Yes.
Right. And so I put my program together, and without asking for any funding, I was able to raise $2,150,000 in less than 90 days of being cut off from the banks. Man, and I haven't missed out on a deal since I started doing that back in 2009. So I'm here in a small town, Corey. Only my total target market's only 40,000 people. I don't do a lot of deals. I do 2 to 3 deals a month, but my average profit is $67,000 per deal. So those numbers seem to work out okay.
Absolutely. And so private money right now is needed more than anything really else because of this COVID situation. And there's all these things that are changing right now. Jay, you have 3 Fridays that you are going to be giving away information. I know you're going to be talking about private money. You're going to be talking about foreclosures, which are coming. They are going to be coming, and you got to be prepared for what that is going to look like for you and how you can take advantage of that. And then also there's private money that actually costs money, Jay, but you're going to be talking about private money that's free private money too. And so can you just share a little bit about those Fridays?
Absolutely. So the first, and by the way, these are not 2 hours each day. These are all day for your people in your world, Corey. Absolutely free. All they got to do is register. You got to just register. So the first Friday is May the 22nd. All right, May 22nd. And on that Friday, this is going to be virtual, of course. It's going to be right here on the internet. So folks, you're seeing this, you're going to be able to attend. And so the first Friday is about how to get private money, a lot of private money very, very quickly, how to attract it without having to chase any of it, and get funding for your deals, regardless of your credit score, regardless of your verification of income. I mean, you can be laid off right now from your job and get just as much private money and funding for real estate deals as I do. All this is going to be framed how to do this and get a lot of funding quickly here in the midst of coronavirus, and even on the other side. A lot of hard money lenders are shut down right now. They're not loaning money out, and you don't have to rely on the banks on this. So how to get a lot of funding for your deals right here in the midst of uncertain times.
Great.
The second Friday on May 22nd is going to be all about foreclosures. And I'm talking about how to serve a lot of people from the space of a servant's heart. I mean, we got Corona crisis going on now. I mean, you're going to have a ton of people with their own crisis. I mean, they've got, as we know now, foreclosures have got to stay. There's no new sales going. There's no new files being opened up. But Corey, as my grandmother would say if she were living, all they're doing is saving up spit, right? None of that stuff is going away. Right. So when they open it up, we're going to have this avalanche of foreclosures. And then on top of that, think of all the people, over 30 million people that are unemployed, laid off from their jobs. That's going to create even more foreclosures. And, there's this talk of, they can put what they're behind on the back end of their note. That's not going to be happening in the majority of the cases. So there's going to be this huge opportunity. I'm talking for the next 24 months, at least, in my opinion, to serve a lot of people and to create win-win situations, get a lot of profit out of it as well. Then the third Friday on June the 5th, I call it how to locate free private money, how to get funding for your deals without having to borrow any money whatsoever or come up with a down payment. So there you have it, Corey. That's all free for your people.
I love it. So the first Friday starts on what day?
Yep, the first Friday is May 22nd.
May 22nd. The second Friday, and so it's right along. It's every single Friday after that. So it's 3 Fridays total.
That's right.
Okay, great. So what I need for you to do, if you want to attend this class, it's really simple. Just go to privatemoneyplace.com. Privatemoneyplace.com. That's where you go. And when you go there, you are going to register. And Jay, you have a free gift that you're going to give them. What are you going to give them?
Absolutely. Besides the free training, just as a thank you for registering, a bonus gift for you being in Corey's world, I'm going to give you 4 free weeks total, 100% access to my own membership site, which is called the Private Money Academy. And so you get a whole month of free. I got a ton of training in there. And again, that's just going to be a congratulations to you for taking action to register for these 3 virtual Fridays.
I love it. Jay, appreciate you. Go to privatemoneyplace.com, register, and you get the 4 trainings on top of the 3 full days of training for private money. And you need this right now. If you're a wholesaler, you need this right now. If you're a fix and flipper, a buy and holder, I don't care if you're involved with short sales or lease options. Whenever you learn about private money, it opens up the world for you to do more deals and serve more people, which both of those things allow you to impact the world and make a bigger change. So go to privatemoneyplace.com. Join me and Jay there. It's going to be great. So I'll see you there. Thank you again, Jay.
Thank you, Corey. And Corey, you're going to be there with me as well.
Absolutely,
So you're not just getting Jay, you're going to have Corey, the virtual event. So get registered. Thank you, Corey. I'll see you there.
Appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Remember, be a servant. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so let's do a sizzle reel that is a 1-minute sizzle reel, 30-second to 1-minute sizzle reel. And what I want to do on this is I want to record this one that I can share on social media prior as I'm starting to, if I don't have to have a long video, I just want to have a short video where they just see a quick sizzle reel, okay?
All right, you tell me what you want me to say in less than 30 seconds.
All right. So what I want you to cover is the 3 Fridays, quickly what they get on each Friday, the start date, and then if you can have that thing running at the same time I start talking to Scott on the bottom, yep, that'll be great. And I'm just going to come on just real excited about the private money, how you're going to give away 3 full days, and it's going to be almost like you're joining a conversation. So it's going to be something like, are you kidding me, Jay? You are going to give away 3 full days, and then you go into it. And we'll do it for that. And so it's literally going to be 60 seconds.
Awesome.
But we do this. So it's literally going to be just a quick 60 seconds.
Okay.
And we'll use this as our sizzle reel.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start here in or I'll just do the countdown for you. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jay, are you kidding me? You're actually going to give away 3 full days of private money training?
You got it, Corey. 3 full days, and it's going to start the first Friday on May 22nd, then May 29th, and then June 5th. All free. The first Friday is going to be how to get funding for your deals, private money, regardless of your experience or your credit or your income, how to get the funding right here in the midst of coronavirus. The second Friday is going to be all about foreclosures, how to serve a lot of people that are going to be in foreclosure right here on the other side of coronavirus, how to locate these and create win-win opportunities and make a ton of money while serving a lot of people. And the third free Friday, Corey, is going to be all about, I call it, how to locate and get free private money, how to get funding for your deals without having to borrow any money whatsoever. So they're coming up right around the corner.
That's awesome. Thank you again, Jay. I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to join you on this as well. So this is where we go. You go to privatemoneyplace.com, register, and Jay is going to give you a free gift just for registering. You got to go check it out, privatemoneyplace.com. Jay, I'm looking forward to it. Go there right now and register.
All right, see you there.
Great.
Corey, you're amazing. You and me, after this is over, we got to do more stuff. Corey, thank you so much. Me and Scott have got to jump. We're actually visiting.
We're 1 minute prior, so we finished 1 minute before.
Yeah, and we're actually visiting with Lex due to your recommendation. Lex,
Very good.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you so
Very
much.
good.
We'll talk soon.
Talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye now. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Corey.